Today again with you, and this time from the hand of the sexiest of the Catwoman from the Batman movies. Do you remember that Catwoman with her whip and her latex suit sewn to her body? Yes, we are talking about the sensational Michelle Pfeiffer. After accumulating awards and successes during the 80s and 90s, the actress decided to take a long break from the cinema to enjoy her family away from the industry. However, she recently returned to the screen in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Let's remember a famous scene in the movie Batman Returns, in which she wields a whip without chromes or more special effects than her dexterity and tears the head of 4 mannequins in one take before receiving an applause from the entire team. Her virality demonstrates 2 things. First, how intensely the actress prepared for that role, which came to her by surprise, as Annette Bening was the one chosen by Burton to play Catwoman, but resigned at the last minute after becoming pregnant. And second, the impact that Michelle Pfeiffer continues to have despite how sporadic her roles have been in recent years. "It was fun," she says in an interview. "I felt very satisfied with myself because it was something that my double could not do, and I did." And it is that while she keeps the door open to reinterpret the role in the future of Catwoman, this week she is back in another heroine costume, that of the original Wasp, Jeanette Van Dyne, in Ant-Man and the Wasp, again alongside Paul Rudd, Michael Douglas, and Evangelina Lilly. Her presence in the Marvel film was a dream of director Peyton Reed. He was so clear that for the first installment of the saga, in which the character alone appeared briefly and in a mask, he hired an actress who looked like her. That Reed could finally fulfill his dream was a lottery. Pfeiffer is as famous for her interpretations as the rejected roles. He said no to Pretty Woman, Basic Instinct, The Silence of the Lambs, Batsy, and Thelma and Louis, the only negative of which he regrets. So he says, "The actress has been coming in and out of the cinema since 2000 at will, and adding only to projects that pose some kind of challenge or allow her to work with people she likes. She has little to show. Her career is prodigious in variety and quality. She has shown with her career quality. She has done drama, comedy, musicals, thrillers, and period cinema. She has been in superhero and Marvel. Her films have raised more than $7 million in box office and accumulates 8 nominations for the Golden Globes, 6 of them in a row and 3 for the Oscars. Her stage name is Michelle Marie Pfeiffer. She is an American actress, one of the most acclaimed and popular of her generation, and was born on April 29, 1958 in Santa Ana, California, in the United States. She was a true cinematographic deity of the 80s and 90s. Maybe Meryl Streep took all the awards, but Pfeiffer covered the covers. Most have not forgotten her. If you want to tell us details of today's character, we would like to hear them. What did you think of that Gatabila play by Pfeiffer? And if you'd like to see her again, play that character. For Pfeiffer, it was always clear that she wanted to be an independent woman. At 14, she lied about her age to get a job as a cashier in a supermarket. But while she was charging some melons, she wondered if that was what she really wanted to do with her life. And one day, as she remembered on her Instagram account, she said, "Somewhere you have to start." And she signed up for Miss Orange Cone. She won. She came participate in Miss California, and there she was 6. She was not interested in victory. No. She had a plan B. Her hairdresser had told her that one of the jurors was an agent who used to sign up for contestants, and he signed her up. She left there without a crown, but with an agent. The small roles began to arrive, and they all had a characteristic. From the script, her character was defined as a sexual bomb. And what happens if people don't think I'm sexy? She wondered, as she confessed many years later, "I'm going to look like a dick." No one thought about it. And she set a maximum. Every time she chose a role, she assured me that it was something a little better than the previous one. When success began to appear, the inevitable imposter syndrome arrived. It did not come from Julia, the prestigious school of art that Georgina had. I was learning at the sight of everyone. So I have always had the feeling that one day they will discover that I am really a fraud, that I do not know what I am doing. That was confessed in Vanity Fair in 2017. She also had to face the part that she hates the most about her work, the press. A punishment for a star who has always had a strong sense of privacy, perhaps because she knows well the dangers of her environment. One of the reasons for the persecution to which the press submits her is the obsession with that physique, that she continues to leave her friends something that bothers her. I don't know if I've ever felt extraordinary. I know I'm not. In any case, I have always felt that she was conventionally beautiful, which is an advantage in some aspects and in others not. There are some of many that are very reminiscent of films that Mitchell Pfeiffer made, like Lady Falcon in 1985, The Witches of Eastwood in 1987, Married to Everyone in 1987 to 1980 were really his. The following year, he achieved his first Oscar nomination with Dangerous Friendships in 1988, alongside Glenn Close, a former debutante Uma Thurman, and John Malkovich. In the 90s, years of consolidating his stardom, he broke the box office with Batman Returns in 1992 and founded the Via Rosa production company, in which he produced the roles that interested him, as Dangerous Minds in 1995 and An Unforgettable Day in 1996. At the end of so much time that the actress was withdrawn from the artistic medium, she will wonder why Mitchell Pfeiffer returned to Hollywood again after leaving for years and what made her retire. And it is that she explains in an interview that her decision to rest from work was not a career decree, but something that happened as part of her life change. You know, I would like to be able to attribute the merit of making this great type of sacrifice, but simply evolved, said Pfeiffer, about his years of acting rest. You know, I think my priorities may have changed, and we moved from Los Angeles. The older the children became, the more and more difficult it became to really say yes. I also became more and more demanding. Well, where does it shoot? When does it shoot? I became impossible to hire. That was really the reason why I had not worked. However, after a long time, now I go back to the screen and explain that I returned because it was a time. Just as Mitchell Pfeiffer took a break from the big screen for his family also motivated him to return now, saying that after dedicating several years to his family, he realized that his daughters were growing up and did not need to create them so much physically. I realized that my daughter was looking at universities, and I said, I thought this is going to affect me a lot. It's time for me to make movies again. And now, is she happy? Well, she never stopped loving what she does, and today we see her in Ant-Man, and we hope to continue seeing her in more movies, and why not again as Catwoman? I hope you like the story, and I repeat, we want to hear your comments about the actress and what other character you would like us to talk about. Thank you.